episode of Out and About with Next Pittsburgh. I'm Boaz, and this is my best friend, Iceburgh. Of course, we're here at PPG Paints Arena. We're going to be chatting with the play-by-play announcer for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Getzoff, in just a minute. But first, we have the question of the week. You might not know this since this is the first episode ever, but we start with the question of the week. The question of the week this week is, what's the best part of summer in Pittsburgh? So comment below, let us know what you think. We're going to choose one lucky commenter to win a free variety pack of 5th season salads. They got some good options here. Crunchy sesame, sweet grains. These sound good, so comment below. We're going to choose one person to win, and we'll have to coordinate delivery around Pittsburgh. We'll be in touch to talk about that. What's your favorite thing about summer in Pittsburgh, Iceburgh? So many things to choose from. You can get soft serve at Page Dairy Mart. You can go to Kennywood. A lot of good options. So without further ado, I'm gonna bid you farewell just for a moment. We'll be back, and I'm gonna go say hello to Getzoff. He's been with the Penguins since 2015.
Hello guys, how are you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
And now you're on Pens TV. You're the play-by-play announcer, which is sort of big because Mike Lang, who's been with the team, I think for maybe 2,000 years now. I think since the mid '70s.
Right.
Retired, and now you're the guy.
Yeah, pretty amazing. 46 years with the Penguins for Mike. 50 years as a play-by-play guy. You can only dream to have that kind of a career. And obviously, I mean, you go in there, you think of his calls. He left a lasting legacy. But I'm eager to get started this year and start, my own path.
How did you find out that he was retiring? Like, where were you?
So I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It was more a matter of when it was going to come out on that particular day. We didn't know it was going to be announced. And Mike and I are very close. We talk pretty frequently. So we had the conversations a couple times. He told me what he was thinking. I told him what I was thinking. And, it was kind of out there from that point forward.
Did he have any words of advice for you?
He said to make it my own, which I'm planning on doing, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think that I have a decent benefit in the fact that I've been able to call games the past few seasons.
Yeah.
Penguins fans and I have built a little bit of a relationship.
Well, you've done a lot of it already, yeah.
Right, and I have a great relationship with Phil Bork, who I call the games with one of my good friends. So I'm excited, and I think it will be fun. As we turn the page and kind of move forward with what we hope will be a 6th Stanley Cup championship here in Pittsburgh.
Gosh, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
And so preseason is like 2 weeks away now.
2 weeks from today.
So how do you prepare for that? Like, do you feel like you get rusty over the summer?
I annoy my wife a lot by calling old games off television. I used to do that all the time to begin with, so I figure why stop now? But that's how I stay sharp, because you're right, you won't see anything live. Once we get into the training camp practices, I'll sit kind of by myself and watch them and call the plays as if they're happening more in a muffled tone, because I don't want people to think I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
They already think I'm crazy enough. Most
You can
people
just pretend you have a Bluetooth and
yeah,
you're
right.
talking to a friend.
Just push it up to the ear. I'm like, yeah, right, down the right way, right, of course. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it to prepare and get ready on that front. But you're right, once the game starts, that first game, 27th here against the Blue Jackets, it'll be just jump into the seat, rock and roll as far as seeing it live again.
And there's some new players.
Yeah.
And so how do you make flashcards? Do you remember their numbers? Do you remember all the stuff about them?
I've actually taken it to a new level this year. I have a very intricate set of hockey boards that I've been using. I use Microsoft Publisher, which a lot of people thought was extinct, including myself. But it's great for building these things out. And I basically have just a sized block for each player, height, weight, statistics, their contract, something that will be of note to me as far as personal notes for the players. And that's kind of how I build it for each and every game and go back and forth that way. So it's been a lot of fun preparing, but I definitely think you reach a point where you just can't wait to get going, and I know we're kind of at that point now.
Yeah, for sure. And what's the biggest thing that's changed in your job during the pandemic? What was the biggest way that last year was different for you?
Well, first, I think anyone would say last year it was weird being in here in the very beginning with no fans.
Yeah.
It's just strange. I mean, I'll say when we're calling the games, we have these really nice headsets on. I don't quite have the relic that Mike Lang used. I use a newer one, and it blocks out all the sound around you except for what you're saying and what your partner, in this case Phil Bork, is saying. And you get some effects at ice level. So in that sense, you didn't necessarily notice the fans weren't there, but I think there were the moments in the game, like the momentum swings, the big goals, hits, saves, where you didn't hear anything. And it was just silence around the arena.
How weird.
Very bizarre. And the intermissions were weird, because usually, we have Selena Pompiani here, and there's a lot of excitement in the building. Iceburgh's dancing around on the ice.
Right.
Fans are going crazy. But there was silence, and there was just music playing, and the building was kind of dark in between periods. So
it's just how weird during those breaks that are usually we're throwing out T-shirts.
Yeah,
things are going crazy,
right.
and you're just sitting on like nothing's happening.
I will say there were a couple dance for a dilly bars that we were in the booth by ourselves dancing because they would replay old ones on the scoreboard from years past. So I never got the dilly bar. I would like to think I was the best dancer, maybe because I was the only dancer. But like, it was definitely weird. And I think as things got closer to the playoffs last year and fans started to come in, you realized how much you missed that. Not that you didn't know it, but you saw it firsthand how important it is for them to be here, how exciting it is. And I can't wait. It's going to be a full house here on opening night, the 16th against Chicago and Marc-Andre Fleury. So it'll be exciting. Yeah.
And since we've chatted last, you had a kid.
I have, yeah. Gunnar was born on April 26th. Penguins played the Boston Bruins on the 25th. They won 1-0 on a Jake Gensel goal. 26th, 1:38 a.m. He decided to come on board to the world. He was born 7 pounds. If I can remember this, my wife's going to be mad. 7 pounds 6 ounces. He was 24 inches long guy, and he's doing great. He's going to be 5 months old in about a week.
Has he been to a game yet?
No, his first game will be sometime soon. I don't want to say the first preseason game, but it's going to be sometime in the very near future. I can't wait for him to get to the building.
Like, do you think now, like, how do you want to teach your son about hockey? Have you thought about that?
I think he's going to, Phil Bork, who also has a young daughter named Ellis, who was born not too far before Gunnar. We've joked that we'll have a little daycare going on behind us in the booth while we're calling the game, but in all seriousness, I do think...
Have Iceburgh watch the kids?
Exactly. He seems qualified, right? Yeah, he's eating trout and fish. I think we can figure out kids. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. It'll be cool to have him here, kind of experience the Pittsburgh fandom, the city, passion for the Penguins, and also just to see what I do. I mean, even though he can't really appreciate it in 5 months, it'll be pretty special to have him around.
Totally.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to ask the question of the week to you. What is the best part of summer in Pittsburgh?
I heard you ask Iceburgh that, and the wheels started immediately turning in my head. And I've said this to a lot of my friends that are not from Pittsburgh, because I'm not from here. I moved here, I'm a transplant, but I now call it home. The Pittsburgh summers are the best summers.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think for me, my favorite part is that there's so much going on. My wife and I like to go out, go to different festivals, go to different breweries, go to different concerts. Last summer was weird with that. It was weird for everybody with that, right?
Right.
But now it's back to a little bit of normalcy on that front, and we've done all that. And we've had fun with all that. We've been able to take Gunnar to a lot of that stuff. So it's been cool. I would say that's my favorite part of Pittsburgh in the summer, is that there's just something new seemingly happening every weekend, or some point during the week you can check out. It's a new thing. It's not just something that happened last year too. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we have a question from the audience.
Okay.
Somebody's asking what do you eat and drink during the game?
Right, eat and drink during the game. So I took this from John Forsland, actually, who's now the play-by-play of the Seattle Kraken. I asked him, because I love how he calls the game. I said, John, I was joking with him, like, what's your secret? How do you stay fresh? He said, I do hot water, no tea, honey, hot water, and lemon.
Huh.
So last year, I started knowing that I was going to be doing the bulk of the games with Mike sitting out through the COVID restrictions. I started with hot water, honey, and lemon. I know people weren't happy with how the Penguins finished the season. They won the division with that combination, so I'm going to be coming back this year with that combination to start it off. It's a little weird when it's hot outside to walk in with a piping hot cup, but once it gets to be cold and real hockey season, it feels good.
Nice. Well, I'm going to bring Iceburgh over here. I've got a quick lightning round to ask you here. I'll send you over here. Okay, so answer these questions as quickly as you can. So, okay, Josh,
Iceburgh go first?
I'll let you go first. Okay. Favorite restaurant in Pittsburgh?
Oh, man. Oh, that was a tough one to start with. I'm going to make a lot of people offended. I'm going to go Round Corner Cantina in Lawrenceville. I love their Mexican food.
Okay, what about favorite retired Penguins player?
Phil Bork.
Okay, Iceburgh, your favorite dance move? That's a good one. All right, if you had to choose a Pirate or a Steeler to join the Penguins, who would you choose?
Are they active or retired?
Either way.
Either way. I'm going to go active just because. I will say from the Steelers, you want to go with J.J. Watt, right?
Yeah.
He brings the pain. He could be a bruising defenseman and knock people away from Tristan Jarry in front of the crease. Pirates, I love the flash and the swag from P. Brian Hayes. Young guy, bring him in here. He could play really well. I think he could be a good asset.
That's great call. Yeah, that car agrees with you.
Yeah,
for sure. Favorite Pittsburgh neighborhood?
I mean, I'm biased, but Lawrenceville. That's where I live. I love Lawrenceville.
Do you call it pop or soda?
So here's a perfect example of why I'm a Pittsburgh transplant. I called it soda before I came here. I call it pop now. I don't even know what soda is anymore.
Yeah. Okay, for both of you, will we win the Stanley Cup this year?
1, 2, 3, yeah.
And on that note, this has been the first ever episode of Out and About with Next Pittsburgh. We'll be back next week, Mondays at 1 p.m. on Facebook Live. Thanks so much for joining us, Iceburgh and Josh, and make sure to tune in 2 weeks. Preseason starts.
Yeah, September 27th, Pens and the Blue Jackets right here, 7 o'clock, preseason game number 1. Can't wait.
Woo!